Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, St. Catherine mother charged after 4-year-old daughter sustains burns during beating. A 24-year-old St. Catherine mother has been charged with cruelty to a child after her 4-year-old daughter sustained burns from falling into a lit coal stove while the woman was beating her. It is alleged that on Saturday, April 6, the Spanish Town woman was beating her daughter with a broomstick when the child fell into the coal stove and sustained burns to her back. The child was taken for treatment and a report was made to the Spanish Town police. An investigation was launched which resulted in the mother being arrested. She was charged on Monday, April 7 and is scheduled to appear in the St. Catherine Parish Court on Friday, April 11. Police probing suspected hit and run along Spanish Town bypass. Investigators assigned to the St. Catherine Police Division are probing the circumstances surrounding an alleged hit and run that claimed the life of an unidentified man whose body was found on the Spanish Town bypass on Sunday. The body is about 5 feet 8 inches long and appears to be in its 50s. It was clad in a multicolored shirt, blue jeans, and a green knapsack. Reports from the Spanish Town police are that about 10:40 p.m., residents observed a body lying on the roadway and alerted them. The scene was processed and the body removed for post-mortem. The police are appealing to anyone with information to come forward. Investigations continue. Observer journalist Alisa Smith passes. Jamaica Observer senior reporter Alisa Smith died on Tuesday, plunging the journalism fraternity into shock and mourning. Smith had fallen ill in February and was hospitalized. She was subsequently discharged and scheduled to undergo surgery. She, however, passed late Monday night after the operation. Smith joined the Observer on August 29, 2022, after a long sojourn at the state news agency Jamaica Information Service, where she covered the Parliament. Her tenure at the Observer saw her continuing parliamentary coverage as well as other beats for the newspaper. Alisa gave solid coverage to the House of Representatives and the Senate, and at times when she ventured into feature writing, I saw that she was enjoying her craft. Observer Executive Editor Publications Vernon Davidson said, "I was hoping she would pull through the surgery and would get back to being the loving, caring mother to her son," he added. She was generally very quiet, but was obviously a fun-loving person with an easy smile. I remember well how she stunned many of us in the editorial department by winning a dance contest at one of our Christmas dinners. We will miss her, and we extend our condolences to her family and the friends," Davidson added. Smith's longtime friend and a fellow senior reporter, Elisa Dunkley-Willis, who also worked at the JIS, said that she had always known her as a quiet and reserved person, but as fun-loving and pleasant as any other. I'd visualized her returning to work and had actually mused on a welcome-back gift. She was easy to talk to, and we could always laugh about various things to discuss our children. She wasn't one to complain. She was the type who would keep trying until her efforts bore fruit, Dunkley-Willis said. Senior Associate Editor Peter Sankey said he was saddened by Smith's passing. "I was praying that she would hold on. I followed her work during her time at the JIS and was very happy when she joined the team at the Observer. She will be missed. Sleep well, Alicia," he said. Sports content manager Andrew Lowe said that for the relatively brief time that he knew and worked alongside Smith, she always presented herself as a quiet, professional, and a sweet-mannered lady who went about her days without much fuss. "She always greeted me with a smile, and our interactions were always pleasant. She clearly enjoyed her work and from a distance appeared to take real pride in the execution of her duties as a parliamentary reporter. I will miss her smile and quiet presence, and I pray that her family will find peace and comfort in this really difficult moment," Lowe said. Meanwhile, JIS in a release also expressed sadness at Smith's passing. Noting that she was a past student of Herbert Morrison High School, the news agency said Smith entered journalism after attaining a bachelor's degree in media and communications and a minor in philosophy from the University of the West Indies in 2007. She joined the JIS editorial department in 2008 and honed her skills over 14 years as a reporter, apprising the nation of the government's work through coverage of Parliament and the office of the Prime Minister. She specialized in writing features, producing human interest pieces about the impact of government programs and the projects on people. Alisa was a valuable member of the JIS, and her department for the private media in 2022 left a void in the reporting team, the agency said. She took with her the high standards of quality news writing, which were reflected in the many stories that she authored. Her close friend and colleague, Chris Patterson, said, "I met Al when I joined the JIS in 2008, and we developed a close and unbreakable bond of friendship over the years. I respected her skills as a prolific writer and a journalist of high integrity. I valued her friendship and cherished her honesty and genuineness dearly. There are no words to express the depth of my sorrow," Patterson said. Deputy Chief Executive Officer Celia Lindsay remembered Smith as an excellent news writer who was committed to getting the job done at a high standard always. "Alisa's passing is a tremendous loss, and we are deeply saddened," she said. The legacy of Smith's work is recorded in the archive of stories she crafted on various topics. She has captured the history of the nation, documented the voice of authorities and the beneficiaries, and has left material for students, researchers, and the future generation to consume. The JIS expresses condolence to Alisa's family, particularly her son, friends, colleagues at the Jamaica Observer, and the wider journalistic fraternity. Man charged with arson over fire at a Portland church. 40-year-old Farrokh Forrester of Love Lane in Port Antonio, Portland, has been charged with arson for setting fire to a church. Reports from the Port Antonio police are that about 6:30 a.m. on Saturday, April 5, residents of the Allen Venue community saw fire coming from the front door of a church and alerted the relevant authorities. Upon their arrival, Forrester was seen throwing papers through the front door of the church in an attempt to spread the flames, according to the police. The flames were extinguished and the Forrester was taken into custody. The police say the damage to the building is estimated at $250,000. Forrester was taken to hospital where he was admitted. His court date is being finalized. Driver of Mercedes-Benz in tragic St. Mary crash dies. The driver of the Mercedes-Benz motorcar that crashed along the Rio Nueve main road in St. Mary over the weekend, resulting in the deaths of 3 men, succumbed to his injuries on Monday. He has been identified as 34-year-old carpenter Chad Beckford of Stairtown in the parish, who was hospitalized following the crash. According to a police report, Beckford was driving along the roadway when, upon reaching a section of the corridor, he lost the control of the vehicle while negotiating a corner. The vehicle reportedly ran off the road into bushes and slammed into a tree, killing 3 male passengers, Kenroy Fong, Brandon Nelson, and Romario Gray. They, along with Beckford, was transported to the Puerto Maria Hospital, where Fong, Nelson, and Gray were pronounced dead, and Beckford was admitted. Beckford died 2 days later. 4 cops are charged for alleged corruption. 4 members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force attached to the Firearms and Narcotics Investigation Division were charged on Tuesday afternoon for alleged corruption. The 4 cops, including a sergeant, corporal, and the 2 constables, were charged following an investigation by the Inspectorate and the Professional Standards Oversight Bureau. They have been charged under the anti-gang legislation. The police high command has not yet provided any information on the matter, but the news was informed that IPROB launched an investigation into alleged corruption and drug involvement. The Director of Public Prosecutions had ruled that the cops be charged under the Anti-Gang Act. This was confirmed by their attorney, Christopher Townsend. Mr. Townsend said his clients are being accused of extorting a suspect who was under investigation by the narcotics police. The suspect was being investigated for using a courier service to send the drugs overseas. Those charged are Detective Sergeant James Dawes, Detective Corporal Tamila Anderson, Detective Constable Shane Givens, and Constable Lakari Barrett, who has since resigned. They are booked to appear before the Supreme Court on Friday. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.